Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. It's June 18th. FOMC day today. Been anticipating this. And we didn't break out of anything. We just got even tighter in our wedge. Here's Eric at SPY Day Trading's 30-minute chart. So bounced off the top and the bottom today. And just a tighter wedge. Probably into the end of the week, I would imagine. Unless there's a surprise tomorrow. Big money wants to buy or sell. We'll see. But this might not be broken out of until next week. Yeah, because tomorrow market's closed and then Friday's slow day. So sometimes big money likes to surprise when people don't show up and get a head start. Anyways, on FOMC days, usually it's pretty low volume, high IV until 2 o'clock when it is released. And oftentimes you get pretty bad price action. So that's kind of what I had in my head, even though sometimes there'll be a trade before then. But even if there is a nice trade, it's just sometimes the contracts don't move just because of the IV and the anticipated event at 2. So even if you're going the right direction and everything, the IV could be dropping. Yeah, it just depends on time of day that you're getting it. And conversely, the IV could also be rising depending on when you're getting it, even if you're not really going the right direction. It's crazy. But strict in your rules, flexible in your expectations. I need to be more flexible today because there were trades before the FOMC released, and I just was kind of not vigilant to find them. Had this magenta channel I charted here in the morning, and the gold, and then this white from these resistances. I wouldn't have probably taken that white break. I don't really like that structure at all. So after it did break that, then we're looking for a repeat of the white to build liquidity for the bulls. And we also had 5-day right here, so it did climb all up to 5-day, and then it made a nice little shoulder here, a little inverse head. I don't know if I had my red one drawn at that point, but if so, that's a perfect touch. I don't think I did. I had it a little different because I had it on the resistance maybe instead of on the supports here, the 3 supports. Anyways, I did see this inverse head and shoulders. I'm like, I considered it. I give myself excuses not to trade if I have a preconceived notion like, hey, FOMC's today, there's not going to be a good trade. This is just going to end up chopping and grinding and that kind of stuff. So flexible in your expectations. When you see a good trade, you got to just go for it. And you got a shoulder, you got an inverse head, and grabbed that. Part of the reason I talked myself out of it though is because the 5-day was right above it, as well as this white line. I hadn't quite broken that, so I'm like, it could come up and dance, and it did proceed to break it and then retest it as a support, which I've got to start doing the retest trades. Breakout trades, my average on those is so awful. So sick of breakout trades, and it's not like I'm trying to do it, it's just that's when I see it. Sometimes I'll see it early and I'll catch it in anticipation. That's kind of that retracement trade if it is for reversal, or it's basically just trying to go long on supports and short on resistances, which seems simple enough. But anyways, on this one, just waiting for it to retrace and show support on that would have been a pretty easy. I think maybe I was thinking about taking the retrace if it retraced back to here, and it didn't. At least that happened in my mind one point today. I think that was actually probably it right here. So anyways, taking on the breakout would have been fine, but then you have to wait until here for your stop, or waiting for it to bounce on this to go long. But really, retesting here would have been ideal. Anyways, nice little trade there, and that was the move up onto the top of the resistance on the 30-minute, top of that green that I showed you at the beginning. And then I actually charted this green channel right here after these 3 appeared. So I duplicated that up here, and it again respected it. And Eric wasn't charting today, so he didn't have that in there. But even Emperor didn't have that for a while, so I felt pretty good about myself, even though I'm not making money with it. As you can see, it broke here and then perfectly retested it as resistance. I actually even noticed that till just now. Kind of interesting. But getting puts here is not a good idea. FOMC day, again, these probably didn't gain really any value. I guess here's your little inverse cup and handle on a retest. Yeah. But yeah, so futures today would have worked. Again, for this move though, options would have been worked. And then of course the volatility later in the day works. I got a retest here on 5-day, and then bounce for a nice head, but then I grabbed this shoulder, kind of lacked continuation. Had to make a little mini head and shoulder, then again lacked continuation, and then actually, yeah, let me read my trade. We're doing a small account challenge. It is a red day for me, unfortunately. Pretty frustrating day because I'm trading on the big account. I need to stop. Trying to just focus on the small account, and then big account only if I'm out of buying power and there's a trade I have to take, and I end up getting undisciplined in that. Anyways, on the big account I did take, but somewhere in here it was breaking actually Emperor's his, and it just ended up building a lot more liquidity before it came down, so I missed this move. I closed him out, and I maybe got back in at some point for this move down, but yeah, so that was white as a resistance, head and shoulders, and it was breaking the last channel. He had a more mellow channel right here. I don't know where he drew it from, but that was another reason for it. And then on the 30-minute, this was all rejecting the top of that wedge, so as a retracement or a mutual interest trade to come down and potentially test the bottom at some point. But this was just so choppy, grindy through here. I missed that bit. And a good lesson, if you miss the trade, of course, don't FOMO and jump in. Always be looking for the reversal, because you can always catch, not always, but there's oftentimes retracement. And maybe it's just a quick scalp, or maybe it's a big trade and you're going to actually end up catching the head. In this case, it could have been. So I need to kind of be mindful of that when I see it. Like, I got in for this move and I just got out, and then it ended up happening, and then I need to be thinking, I'm thinking, okay, I want to go short. How do I go short? I got to wait for it to build liquidity, whatever. But really, I need to be charting the steeper bearish algos, waiting for it to break that, and just getting that mutual interest trade, that retracement. Doesn't always, of course, be like this, but yeah, especially in like a wedge, if you're not in a continuation day, you do get these sort of moves at times. So you need to focus on that. I improved on it today itself. I don't think I did it here. I think I saw that there after it went. I'm like, that was stupid. Of course, I saw the shoulder up here, and I thought if it breaks up here, I'll take it, but then it was FOMC, and so I just left that alone. I did improve though, because down here I did take actually bounce trade. Of course, it did work, but it was just small, and I stopped out break even on most of it, so just took one profit. Would have definitely worked better here, but yeah, good to think about that, to be thinking about that. If it's not going to build liquidity for you to jump on the same direction, look for that reversal, at least just for a scalp, or yeah. So anyways, on the small account, 329 to 330, there it is. So this was ended up being a breakout trade. It's like those are the easiest for me to take for some reason, and oftentimes they're wrong. So I'm getting the inflection point, I'm just getting it in the wrong direction. Oh, especially on a day like today, it's FOMC, big wiki candles and lots of uncertainty. So let's see. And I missed this one too. I was distracted for this, unfortunately. And when it's just doing all this crazy stuff while Powell's speaking, it's like, it looks so clear in hindsight with my green channel, my green algo there, and the nice head that it makes, and the shoulder down here, and then it breaking the green right there. I could give a lot of excuses, but Emperor's chart, he had that, again, that more mellow one, so it didn't break his till like way down here. Yeah, and I see these as a support. At least it's pretty close. Maybe it's down here on these, but regardless, grabbing the shoulder, and then you also have a steeper channel that you could help guide your positions. I'm gonna show you Emperor's actually on there. So see, he jumped in. He actually jumped in before it broke his magenta, and he just got in on a retracement to his green. So I was kind of looking at his. I wasn't really charting my own steeper green one, because I have my purple, I guess. I don't know. Our lines didn't line up strictly today, which is another thing. It's kind of, I don't know who to trust. But yeah, on this one, that would have been of course, that would have been a nice trade. So really today there was this trade, which is a nice one. You could count that as a retracement trade. I wouldn't even call that one. I'd say this one, and that's it. There were 2 solid trades today. And oftentimes there's not more than 3. Sometimes there's none. Given as you get more experience or more comfortable and you take trades differently, you can trade however you want. But for me, and I guess my level, my comfort, if I'm being honest, yeah, two nice trades where I could scale up a large amount with this strategy and be comfortable with these trades because they're quite obvious. So just having the patience to wait for those setups for sure is part of my training. And then built liquidity into close. It's just stayed stuck in that wedge, unfortunately. I did trade a bit in here, unfortunately. I got the bounce trade, which was good. And I actually didn't trade too much in there, thankfully. But I did a couple stop outs, went short, stopped out. I think I flipped long then. Because again, if it's an inflection point, I have the right idea, but I'm just going the wrong direction. However, this was just liquidity built outside the range, so it just wasn't ready. And these sometimes are hard for me to hold. As confidence grows, sure. And creating a different instrument like futures forced me to dump decay. It's FOMC day, like it's can't be too hard on myself, I guess. It's a day that a lot of day traders don't even trade. Professional ones at least. So yeah, that's more lessons. Trying to lock them in. But that's where we're at. Thanks for watching, guys. See you, I guess, on Friday. Have a good Thursday off. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money, sticks around.